Welcome back to the show. We are back to talk Ottawa Community Housing. Ottawa Community Housing, the tenants living in it, and how the foundation supports them. I'm joined by Melissa Reeves. She is the vice chair of the Ottawa Community Housing Foundation. Welcome to the show, Melissa.
Hi, thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. Let's first of all talk about the tenants living in Ottawa Community Housing. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about them.
Yeah, so Ottawa Community Housing is the largest social housing provider in Ottawa, second largest in the province, second only to Toronto. And we have just under 33,000 tenants living in our communities across the city. And we have about 9,000 youth make up this group. And so they're parts of families and all different types of families, single moms, blended families as well. We also have a large population of seniors living in our community housing as well as newcomers to Canada. So there's a really diverse group in terms of ethnicities, backgrounds, geographic locations. It's a really rich cultural group as well. And the job of the foundation is really to support the emotional and social well-being and the health of these community members through initiatives in education and employment.
Can you give us some more details on some of those programs and exactly how they work?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have our RecLink program. It's probably our largest program, and it serves primarily youth and children. And what it does is it eliminates barriers for families trying to get their kids in after-school activities or activities like swimming or hockey or any sorts of things. So our foundation supports a group that actually helps to get these kids enrolled into different after-school programs with no cost to the families. So it makes it very easy for these children who wouldn't have otherwise been able to go to these different types of activities. So it's really important.
It's a great program. Let's talk a little bit about, you have an annual campaign that helps support, of course, those living in Ottawa Community Housing. Let's talk about that campaign and why it's so important.
Yeah, so November 15th, we launched our annual giving campaign. And this year we've done something a little bit different. It's our Gifts for Good catalog. And what we wanted to do was to be able to connect donors and supporters with the actual activities and initiatives that they're supporting. And so what we've done is that we've created opportunities for giving quite specifically. So for instance, for $85, you can send one child to camp for a week. For $50, we'll be able to fill up a backpack with back to school items for children. And we have other initiatives where, for instance, for about $100, you can send 4 children to swim classes for 9 weeks. And I don't think that a lot of us realize that, the impact that these relatively small donations have on the lives of youth living in our communities. We also have a bursary program and mentorship program that for $150 supporting our Youth Futures program offers mentorship and assistance for post-secondary students living in community housing as well.
Yeah, and a lot of those camps and those activities that you just mentioned, I mean, they really are life-changing. And, people, we take for granted, I'm just thinking of my own family, take for granted that we've been able to send our kids to camp, but so many kids don't have that opportunity, and it's so fantastic for their development. I'd like to touch on the pandemic a little bit, Melissa. Have you had to alter the way that you work with those tenants in Ottawa Community Housing due to the pandemic?
Absolutely. I think, with so many other organizations and entities have had to change the way they work, and we've had to change the way we work because many of our programs require people coming together, especially children coming together. And so that stopped virtually overnight. And what we were able to do and what our team did under the leadership of Angela Begang, who is our executive director, she has a fantastic team, and she's really stewarded them, and with the support of our board that's very engaged and supportive as well. What we've done and what Angela's team has done is put together things very quickly, like when the pandemic first hit, and then there were all the children were studying at home. There were at-home kits that were assembled and delivered to help and facilitate at-home learning. In addition, there were also activity kits for wintertime when the children were playing outside. There were no organized sports, so we delivered kits to the children so that they could play that way. We also joined up with an organization called Recycle, and we were able to start a new initiative called Hop on Bikes, where we were able to refurbish about 100 bicycles and give them to children in our communities, along with helmets and locks, so they have that opportunity.
Amazing work that you're doing. Thank you so much for joining us, Melissa. I've run out of time. That does it for this edition of Daytime. We'll see you